Groamy Show podcast right here on ZTOTV. We're back. Dan's here.
Dan, hi.
We got someone new here.
Hi, I'm Randy. Ray McGuff.
Yeah, pick one.
Hi.
Yes.
This one's on YouTube.
He don't know where to look.
Camera 2.
Camera 2.
Camera 2.
Yes.
Camera 2.
And we're also joined by Saturn Boy.
Yep.
That's me.
Yeah? How's it going?
Good.
Good?
Good. How about you?
Tired.
Tired.
But, it happens when you get old. You'll discover that in 30 years.
30 years.
That's a long time.
A few decades.
Right. You're from, our name like Saturn Boy. You think he's from Saturn, right?
You think,
No,
yeah.
he's from Lima.
What?
I'm from Lima.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Lima.
How long you been doing music?
20 years. I started playing guitar 20 years ago, and now,
Misinformation.
well,
music. He's been
you
doing
didn't say
music.
keyboard. You didn't say
He's
keyboard.
been doing music.
Yeah. If you want to know keyboard, 16 months ago,
Oh.
I started.
Yeah.
I started making beats and experimental scores and doing stuff for film down in Columbus about 16 months ago. So this is all new to me.
Right.
It's all an experiment.
What movies?
There's a filmmaker named Danny Rogers. I don't know if you ever heard of Ali Ferda.
I know
She's
her.
from here. She's from Lima. And she's been acting for a long time. But Danny's down in Columbus, and he did a short film called The Diary of Joe and Pam, which I did like the end score for. And then he has another one coming up called Her Bicycle Day. And I have the end score for that, which is the end scene for anybody that doesn't know. I did that. We've already mixed it down, and so we're just waiting for filming to get done on that. But
Cool.
so that's pretty cool. That's exciting. That's
Yeah.
kind of what motivates me the most here lately is doing films. I think I like doing experimental beats, and I heard binaural beats, which are like frequencies that are kind of like calming, keep you relaxed and stuff like that. And I took those in because I had a problem sleeping when I worked at this warehouse over here on Main Street for about 4 years, and I could not sleep. So I used that as like a medicine to sleep. And I was like, I want to make beats out of that, though. I want to like take those frequencies and make beats and instrumentals out of it. So that's what I started doing, and started that about last March. Not this last March, but a year ago March. I got my Juno DS61 and just started making beats. And then Allie got a hold of me. He said Danny really liked my stuff and wanted me to come down and do some stuff for films. And I was really excited about it because I've always wanted to do like movie scores and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm into now. And the stuff that I just put out on my own is just my stuff. So I kind of put it under that Saturn Boy umbrella. And then the other stuff that I make for Danny is completely separate, which in the credits it'll say Ben Gordon. It won't say Saturn Boy.
Right.
So there's a few different projects I got. I got a collab band called Space Trumpet, and we kind of like Shizzy's been in it, and I think we're gonna do Joel Horseman next, and Brian Graham's been in it. A lot of the guys from Beers for Cheers, and we just kind of Brandon Graham, Victoria Graham, we've put them all together and kind of made this collab, which is the same theme of Saturn Boy, but we're all playing keyboard on it. So we put samples in it, and it's the collab band's for fun.
Right.
So we're doing that. That's kind of on a break right now, but I never imagined I'd play synth. There's no scene around here for synth music or dancing or dance, rave, any of that kind of stuff. And so it's like that's a wide open opportunity for me to like play shows, and I've been playing at Legends a lot.
Right.
Yep.
1355 North Cole Street. Give him a little shout out. You're welcome, Mark.
You can see it from the porch
Yeah.
at Groamy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I'll cut you down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a guy that doesn't do keyboard beats, but he does beats with records and mixing and that sort of thing. And I'll hook you up with him because I know he does. He tries to do stuff out and about. He's telling me the other day he's got I got like an hour and a half long set at this point. It's like wow,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
you know. And then the I don't know if it's still the same DJ. Well, because you mentioned Shizzy and Brandon, those guys.
Yeah.
After this, when this finally airs, the show will be past. But tonight they're playing over at Harry's. And but there was, I don't know if he's still there. There was a DJ over there that actually wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can't think of his name offhand. But,
I'm kind of out of touch with any like the DJs around here. I think really the only times I go out are to support my friends or if I'm playing a show.
Go see the band and see that.
But yeah, I'm gonna go.
And I say this all the time, and I know I'm an asshole for saying it, for speaking the truth. But going to see your friend's band is not supporting local music scene.
No, that's not true because
that's supporting your friend.
The Leather Shop.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about the Leather Shop.
Absolutely.
All them guys.
Yeah.
I go to as many of those shows as I can, and that's kind of that. I reason why I say I never imagined I'd play synth is because I played punk rock,
right?
Like hardcore music,
and used to make fun of the guys that are doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, that's lame. Like I'm not diva,
right?
Not diva. Very few people are diva.
So, right.
That's why I never imagined I'd play synth. Well, Brandon turned me on, and like I was saying about the binaural beats, it was like I want to do that.
Right.
So it just like that's kind of why I tag it as experimental beats.
Right.
Because it's it's like it's a genre really that I don't want to say isn't developed yet, but it's kind of new. It's like ambient. Mm-hmm. It's when you do instrumentals, you cross language barriers because people from all over the world can listen to it and they don't have to understand the words.
Right.
So you're like, really anything I play could reach anyone.
Right.
So that's what I really like about it, I think the most. Capturing different emotions, whether it be like that feeling in your gut like something's about to happen,
right,
or that blissful feeling like, I can chill.
Right.
Like any of those like feel. I love that I can write a theme and then make that theme come to life through feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
And it's amazing I can do that with my keyboard by myself.
Right.
I'm really influenced by Hans Zimmer a lot.
Oh, wow.
The composer, he does anything for, I think he just did the new Lion King, he did the Dark Knight series, he did Interstellar,
right.
He did,
been around forever.
The man.
Right.
And so like I draw a lot of inspiration from him.
Right.
And stuff like that. Lorne, Clams Casino, Dream Koala, New Ages, a lot of artists that a lot of people, and producers that a lot of people haven't heard of. But that's kind of like my thing now that I listen to and pay attention to.
Hans Zimmer, didn't he do like Blade Runner and shit? I mean, he's been around for at least early 80s, I would say.
His first American film was Rain Man, I think, and that was like 88.
Okay.
I think.
I was thinking it went back farther than that.
I think the main two that influenced me from him were the scores for Interstellar and the whole Dark Knight series. I really like he explains in his like workshops about how you can take two notes and you can just make them sound so massive. And so that's kind of like my stuff. I use a lot of arpeggios and stuff that make it seem complicated, but it's really only a few notes. It's just the way that you put them together and you build it.
Right. Speaking of, thank you for the segue. Speaking of your music and your songs and what you do, we're going to cut away to check out some of what you're doing.
Excellent.
You're watching the Groamy Show podcast. We'll be right back. that was a track from Saturn Boy. You're watching the Groamy Show podcast right here on ZTOTV, and we're talking with Saturn Boy. Randy, you want to chime in with anything? I mean, you're sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not working on any music right now. Experimental music I was working on for a while in my basement. It was just me banging a spoon on a pipe and screaming at the top of my lungs. Didn't really work out.
Sold like 3 copies.
But right now I've got Schlockfest that I've been working on, and new Area 42 podcast will be out soon. Those are my 2 things. So. But yeah, I mean that's about it for me. That's why I'm just waiting for the casual conversation portion.
Right.
Yeah. So,
whoa, casual.
Well, what'd you buy there?
Oh yeah, I could just go through what I bought real quick. The Nirvana album from I think it was after way after Kurt Cobain's death.
That's like a best of.
Yeah, best of.
Yes, that's a
But it has "You Know You're Right," which was then released.
Yeah, that was "You Know You're Right" was on that box set that came out.
Right.
And some people are like, I don't want to have to buy the box set to get that one new song, so they put that out as a bonus track on a best of. Sort of
very
was a good track.
Very reasonably priced at $6.99, and it has all of the.
That'd be a little high.
It's got all of the classics on it as well.
Yeah.
And then I bought a set of guitar strings. My dad plays acoustic, and he broke his strings the other night, so I told him while I was here I picked some up.
And I appreciate that.
Awesome.
I appreciate that.
Shop lots and shop local. Shop smart, shop Groamies.
Thank you.
Ding.
Yeah. Dan, you and this one goes back a little ways, right?
Yeah.
You did some training.
We met
back in the day
in 2007. And we were in the War Wrestling Training Camp. It was me, you, and Carl.
Me, you, and Carl.
There was a guy named Carl. He was a truck driver.
It was actually the Global Wrestling Alliance.
It was it was global for one show. Remember, it was one show they did global. Then Bob turned, and then it became War. But yeah, it was a guy named Carl.
Carl and Bob. I don't know these people.
Carl was a truck driver.
Carl.
He's the bell guy now.
He's the ring. He's the timekeeper.
Yeah.
And he was. If you looked at him, immediately you thought like a redneck character.
Right.
Made sense because it's pretty much what he was. He wanted to be the Undertaker.
Right.
He had an idea of this character that was, and it was even Tom was like, "What are you talking about?" But I met him in that time, and we both trained, and he picked it up a lot quicker than I did. Absolutely, he did, and he actually worked for War Wrestling for a bit. That's why I met him through wrestling.
You did?
Actually, before music, I met him through wrestling.
Yep, Ben Brody.
Ben Brody, yep.
Ben Brody.
He loves loves Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser's long, illegitimate.
Yeah, he's illegitimate punk rock child.
Right. Bruiser Brody, is it Ohio Noise Machine or they wrote a song about Bruiser Brody?
Oh yeah.
Or was it? God, I've known those guys forever, and they're going to kill me for not knowing which incarnation it was. I think it was Ohio Noise Machine. Yeah, they wrote a song about Bruiser Brody.
That's nice.
They performed at a war show even.
Oh wow.
Did that song, but they do original music, and it doesn't go over well with the wrestling fans.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember.
Yeah, he did for a bit, and the thing is, but how it all circles back is that these two. I mean, I was at that time 22.
Yeah, I think I was 22.
22. We were 22 years old. Now we're both grown, married, kids, the whole thing. And I'm a stand-up comic, and he is Saturn Boy. So it's amazing how that. But I mean, the paths converge again. And I said I knew him, and we talked a little bit, and then I found out what he was doing here, and we were doing shows at Legends, and we met back up again, and we're working together again with different projects. So it's really interesting to see how life can go sometimes. Yeah, it's how interesting. And we're both, and like I said, we're just doing different things, but then we're still back working with each other again on different projects. So I think that's pretty cool.
It's a little safer than wrestling.
A little bit. Less shots to the head.
How many? I mean, did you work several shows for him?
Yeah, you did.
I worked.
I mean, shit.
I know. Yeah,
I'm the original sponsor.
I think I worked 3 shows,
Right.
and they were all good.
Right.
The last one we had a little problem, and I think that kicked me out of the wrestling business really for a long time. And I think I came back years later and I made everything right
Yeah.
with Tom and Bob, and
Yeah.
I kind of just went on my way after that.
Okay.
You know, and now we're cool again, and I really support war and local wrestling especially. And so, like, it was really a lot off my chest to get over that over a long period of time. You know, we had problems, and I didn't want it to be that way anymore. So I called Bob and I called Tom and I said, look, I'll come back and I'll work for you guys. I'll set up chairs. I'll set up the ring. I did a battle royal with them, the Bell Center Brawl, a couple of years ago when we had the fireworks got rained out here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that actually was really good for Bell Center because not everyone, but a lot of people from here went to Bell Center. So they had this big show, and I did the battle royal, and you know I got close to the end, and I almost won.
Right on.
But it was really cool, like to kind of. It was really cool to make amends with them guys and be cool again and just kind of smooth things
I've
over.
loved working with them for
Yeah.
And you know, Tom's an awesome dude. He really is. And Bob, I love Bob.
He was in,
I love
and
Bob.
Tom was in earlier today, by the way, dropped off tickets for the next wrestling show,
Yeah.
which
check
is
that out.
September,
7th?
no, August,
It's
the
Freedom
Freedom Fight,
Freedom
where
Fight is
all
it's in
first
September.
responders get in free
Yep.
with +1. Come on in, you know,
Bradfield Center?
yeah, definitely, yeah, they got some great shows there.
Yep.
Yes,
It's going to be a
Yes.
great show.
Yeah, no, I apologize. I don't remember you, but when you guys are talking wrestling outside, I'm thinking, who are these people they mentioned? You know what I blame? I blame one of the 2 power bombs that I took through a table.
That'll do it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm betting it was the second one when it was out on the concrete floor at the UAW Hall,
Oh.
and the move got screwed up,
Yeah, that'll
ended
do
up in
it.
a puddle of blood.
Can I chime in real quick?
Yes.
I just want to say, I lived in Columbus for the last 15 years, and I've been back over the last year, and I got into war wrestling watching it, coming to the live shows, and I have never seen the level of commitment that these guys have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I just want to shout out to them, because I went to like 4 or 5 shows altogether, I forget, with Frank and his kids,
Yeah.
and literally had a blast at every show,
Yep.
but I'm surprised every time at the level of
Yeah.
commitment they have. I mean, I saw a guy jump off and slam a guy into chairs off a balcony.
Yep.
I've seen, like you're talking about table stuff. I mean, these guys that get in the crowd, they're friendly, they come out and talk to the kids.
Yep.
It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen,
Yeah.
and I'm honored every time I go there to be part of it. It's just fun. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I just
Yeah.
want
And it's
to
one of those
as an
things,
outsider to it, it's pretty cool.
And that's one of those things that I think that what we're finding is it's slow, but that's one of the things we're doing with like ZTO and the Groamy Show and Lima Land Comedy and local acts like Saturn Boy and Hellfire Sinners and guys like that who are coming here and war wrestling. There is a creative element to this town.
Absolutely.
And there are people who want to create, and there are people that want to work together and want to create stuff. We're not New York City, and we're never going to be. But
Right.
we can have our stuff here. We can have a show. We can have original music. We can have pro wrestling. We can have all these things. So when you take that and you have people that are willing to work and put pride in what they do, this town can do stuff. And anyone says that nothing happens, they're not looking.
Or they're not making it happen.
Right.
You're absolutely right,
Right.
about that.
There
is
was
creativity.
Yeah, the guy from Lima News did a story on people that say there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
And he come in and we talked and he pulled out his pen and paper, and my initial thought was, oh shit, because I've said stuff before that people don't like, and I was like, I'm sorry, I spoke fact, and I said that, and I'm like, oh shit. He's like, what? It's like, you're probably gonna write something that I say, and people are gonna get their panties in a bunch. He's like, no, I've talked to other people about you, and we're on the same page. But the article went on to, there are things to do.
Absolutely.
You just got to go out and support them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise they're going to stop. And I don't think he put it in the paper, but I told him, I said, people that say there's nothing to do, there are. Now, if you say there's nothing that I like to do that goes on, okay, I'll give you that. Then create it yourself.
Right.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
Get off your lazy ass. And I like underwater basket weaving, so I'm going to start an underwater basket weaving club. And you're going to have one person show up, maybe 2, and then you're going to realize why no one's ever freaking done underwater basket weaving. Because I'm sorry, you're the one of the 2 people.
Well,
that's what, but if you want to try it, and then you're going to see how hard it is. You know, I mean, War's been doing it for what, 17
They
years?
started in 2003 because they went to another show and they felt disrespected and they saw the quality of the content and they didn't like it. So those three guys, the three original founders, created War Wrestling, and they've been going since then. I mean, what was it? The Hall of Fame show they just did, the last, that was War 15, 16?
I think it was 15.
Yeah, so they've been going around for a while. That was created. The Groamy Show. This did not come out of nowhere. People worked to create this show. The podcast, the live shows, the stuff like that. We left a show here, myself and Joe Dees left here, went to Legends. We were talking to the owner there, talking to Mark. They told us, we set up the show that's now Comedy Outlaws, and we also found out about a band show that you had done. You were doing 2 weeks later. We came to that show to support you guys and promote for our show. We are now going on our 4th show there. It was something where if there's, you're right, if there's something there, if you don't like what's going on, do something. Yeah. Someone will come. How many shows have we done here? I mean, Groamy Show. How many people will show up? They'll have fun. They'll goof off. They'll get a VHS copy of Homeward Bound. There will be something to do.
Or they'll see some. I know it's an interview about you. Or they'll see some amazing bands.
The bands
that and I'll blow my. Can I blow my own horn?
By all means.
I've had bands play here that played Bonnaroo. Anybody else in this area say they played Bonnaroo?
Right.
Well, you know what? You could have saw a band here that played Bonnaroo. For Record Store Day, one of the band's the lead singer when he was out in bands out in California. His band played a little festival called Coachella. I've had bands play here that gone on to record at a little place called the Grand Ole Opry. We've had bands play here that tour Europe all the time. I've had the singer-songwriter Hannah Aldridge. Her uncle started Muscle Shoals Fame Studios in Alabama, where everybody from the Rolling Stones and Lynyrd Skynyrd and Aretha Franklin, right here in Lima, Ohio, those people have played. And like I said, I'm really freaking proud of the people that have played on my stage. Like the Convalescents who are coming back.
Yep.
They dropped an album a couple weeks ago. They're a metal band. They're scared. Actually, they're playing Gathering of the Juggalos before they play here next time. Playing August 2nd here. But they played Rocklahoma, which is a big 2-day festival in Oklahoma. They started their tour off here. They dropped an album a couple weeks ago, and it was number 8 on the iTunes metal charts. And they played here. So there are bands like that go out and play around here. You got to know about them, and you got to know what's happening. Yeah. And I do my best to promote, social media, but you just got to go out and find the stuff.
Well, and also like what Ben said. He said exactly what we've been saying. It was something where he didn't see anything doing what he was doing. So you know what he did? He did it himself.
Yeah.
He started doing it. He started messing with stuff, and he started. And like I said, so when we went to, like I said, we did the show. We came to that show, and he's playing his set. And I'll be honest with you, of everyone that was on the show, the only one on that stage that was doing anything like him was him.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Because it was different. People weren't expecting it, and it was different. Yeah. You can have this, that, and the other. That's why with like the Groamy Show, you try to mix it up. There's a lot of hard rock bands here, but every once in a while there'll be someone that comes in that'll just completely, you're not expecting it, but they're good.
Well, Oliver Hazard, the band that played Bonnaroo, the acoustic 3-piece. Harmonies were like angels. We've had Asher Gemini from High Life Records coming back. Some High Life people are coming back. Yep. Be sure to follow the Facebook page to get all that information. And it's go out and do stuff, people. And that night that you guys played, because it was you guys and. Was it Beers for Cheers or Uncle Satan? Or
I think it was both.
Cheers, Uncle Satan, Poor Brother Bill.
Right.
3130.
I don't want to forget anymore.
Curse of Z and Let It Go.
Curse of Z, Let It Go.
Which
are longtime friends.
Right.
Shout out to Eric.
Right.
Right. Kevin.
Kevin, how's your ramen noodles or your Hot Pockets?
Kevin.
Anyways, we can. I like that. Sitting down and shooting the shit. But we're going to shut up for a second because we want to get some more music in from Saturn Boy here. Don't go away. You're watching the Groamy Show podcast on ZTOTV. watching the Groamy Show podcast on ZTOTV, and that was more music from Saturn Boy, who joins us this time around. And gentlemen, are you ready? Are we ready to hit the bowl?
I'm always ready.
Yes.
All right. This bowl.
Oh,
That one.
I know what the hell you got.
Oh,
oh
jeez.
yeah. Yes, of course. The question.
Randy is disappointed. All right.
And this one, I'm afraid it's directed at him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll still answer it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. With a name like Saturn Boy, we have one question. Do you believe in aliens?
No.
Wow.
That was very
That is
definite.
surprising. All right.
Okay, do I believe in aliens? Let me retract that. Yes. Yes, I believe in aliens. Do I believe that they like fly here on their ships? Absolutely not. I don't.
Why not?
That's reasonable.
I don't believe that because I think if it were true that there would be no reason to hide it. And I don't think that all these conspiracies and stuff, I just don't believe it. I think that maybe in an ancient time, maybe some particles from some planets that collided, or maybe the formation of the moon, or things that caused the Earth to flood, may have created humanity, and maybe we're part alien. Okay, we're not going to get too into that. But I don't know. I shouldn't have said no. Because I do absolutely believe there's life out there. I think
You don't think they've come to
I
Earth?
just don't buy that because
Why
Why would
if they're an intelligent life form, when you think that they're out there exploring the other galaxies?
why would they hide? Why would you hide?
Because, so as not to scare the shit out of humans?
I'm
Sure.
I'm with him on this. But here's why. My thing is, and I ain't about them hiding. To me, it's like this: if they are an alien species and they have mastered intergalactic flight, what could they possibly learn from us?
What not to do?
We
Have
are
you ever
the
been to a zoo?
we are the Mississippi of the
Good point.
universe.
Yeah.
We can't get a person onto the next planet.
Right.
We've crashed. We had 3 robots on there. The first 2 crashed.
Right.
So we have 1 robot that is now dead, and they're like, no, they've managed intergalactic flight, and they're going to learn something from someone in Arkansas.
We're like
they're
our,
not.
our trash entertainment.
Yeah,
We're their reality TV.
We're like, yeah.
Well, I think
Yeah.
what is it, Simpsons that did an episode like that?
Right?
Yeah, where Earth was.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I think it might have been
South Park.
South Park, yeah.
Yeah, it was where
Reality
Earth was
show,
a reality show.
Right.
That's
for
the only thing
aliens
they can
out
do.
there.
But that's why I also believe they're not abducting every redneck with a pickup truck.
Right.
Because really,
I don't
what are you going to do?
know.
Oh, they love Skull? We don't need that.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you believe in it?
I'm with you on the fact that there has to be life on other planets.
It's almost an
just
arrogant
Yeah, it
thought
has
to
to
think
be.
there's
Right.
It has to be.
Right.
Are there things coming here to watch us? I don't know. I don't think so in the sense that we're thinking. I think it's more of like these are some unmanned vehicles that they're sending here to probe, to look, to see with many other, galaxies, to see what's going on. Oh, these evolved monkeys, and then instead of throwing shit, they throw nuclear waste at each other. It's crazy. We should watch that and see what they do.
I honestly think they do come here.
But I think he's onto something. The panspermia idea that you're talking about, right? There's just too much crazy shit on this planet to have been naturally formed here, like jellyfish.
And how different are we from all the animals on the Earth? And the fact that we forget about that 70 to 75% of the Earth is covered in water. So most of the life on Earth is actually in the ocean and not on land. So we think that because we have this reality that we're in, that we're the dominant species or whatever. When dolphins are in the ocean and can communicate 7 miles apart from each other.
Right.
And, so what's, like technology and all these little gadgets it makes it appear like that we're the only intelligent species here.
Right.
When animals in the ocean have these traits there where they can communicate, like an octopus. I think, most people know how intelligent an octopus is, and that thing does not look like it's...
Right.
It
doesn't look
bizarre.
like it just naturally formed from some, guppies.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right. So it's, and I think the funnest part of all this is that we don't know and we can't prove it. So that's what I like the most about like these kind of subjects.
Yeah.
It's not that I want to sit here and say that I know. It's just the wondering part of it that makes it so interesting.
Right. can I add an addendum really quick before I know we got to get to the next
Addendum?
one? But if there are beings coming here to visit us, I don't believe they're from other galaxies. I think they are us from the future coming back to try to fix shit that we fucked up.
Okay, now we're adding time travel.
So, but that's
Now
just me.
Yeah,
That's
now we're
another
going a whole new.
Yeah.
It's a wormhole, folks.
Yeah,
Alright.
we're gonna jump to the next.
And that episode of Futurama we're going to deal with later. All right.
Right.
Okay, but another one. What are you hoping will happen with Saturn Boy in 2020?
I want these films to get done, and I know I'm impatient. I can put out probably a track a week or more, but I know that filming takes time, and so I'm hoping like to get some more films, and that's really my, and maybe start playing bigger shows like music festivals. I want to like notch up to like maybe playing like pop-up stages at like shows like The Workout and stuff like that, where or electronic shows, and I got to go out of the city to do that. So that's those are kind of the goals.
What are you hoping for Saturn Boy?
I'm hoping
do?
that he gets a nice tax break next year and he gets
Right.
a little bit more tax money back.
Right.
He can put that back into his chosen career path, and he maybe makes.
Open a door for a comedian.
Yeah,
to perform at the
I make movies. I write. Maybe he knows a
Hey,
guy
goes on his way. I don't know.
who wants to do a comedy about a yard sale. That I'm
You got to work together.
Yeah.
So we'll totally work with that. Yeah.
If you could work with any musician alive or dead on a studio album, who would that artist be?
Alive,
Besides Hans Zimmer.
alive. Besides Hans Zimmer,
Right, right.
okay. I'd have to say Dream Koala. Now I know you guys might not have heard of him, but
Yeah, no.
he actually wrote a song called Saturn Boy, and it really that's kind of where the name came from. It hit me like a ton of bricks.
I mean, who
It's
is he?
really-
I mean,
he's from France. He's from France. He's not doing anything now. I don't want to say he because it floored me, and I don't want to speak ill of him, and I don't think it's wrong or anything. But he's a trans woman now, and it blew me away. And so she isn't doing anything right now, and it bugs me. Like I message her literally all the time, like, when you gonna put something out?
Right.
Instagram, all that. I never get a response. I get left on red.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, like, you're awesome. Please, like, I still support you.
Yeah.
So, but Dream Koala, yeah, definitely Dream Koala. I think that's where a lot of my traits and my sounds. I don't mimic, but I feel like I'm kind of in that same. That you could put us together on a show and it would make sense.
Right. Right.
So.
dead Richie Valens, alive Eric Clapton.
Okay.
And I would just like to work with them, and by that I mean I just would carry their amps and
Right.
I want to be a roadie for Eric Clapton. That's all I want.
That's working.
say things like "Get back behind the rope."
Yeah.
Right.
He
Mr.
wrangled the
Clapton doesn't
groupies.
like that.
Right.
He had to wrangle the groupies. Which,
Right. And just I think Richie Valens needed more time. That's just my. If I could bring him back from the dead, I would.
Yeah,
Wow.
Richie Valens, the Big Bopper. Yeah. The time.
What you got there?
I don't know. Let's find out. All right. All right. This can go for either one of you or both. I don't care. Who are some of your favorite Ohio musicians?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the Hell's Fire Centers and Elk. They're almost interchangeable because they have the same people basically.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I hadn't heard music like that good, in that category for a long time. So that caught me off guard. Curse of Z I like a lot.
Okay.
Who other? Another Ohio. They changed the name of their band, but the Janelle, from Columbus, the
Morning Theft?
Morning Theft. Yeah,
They're not Morning Theft anymore?
Oh no, I thought they were something else now. But Morning Theft, if they're still, they're one
They
of
used
my.
to be Sunglasses.
That's right. They changed to Morning Theft, but when I first knew them, they were Sunglass, and they're a band out of Columbus. Amazing vocalist. Her main name is Janelle. Just phenomenal. But Curse of Z, I saw them here, and they're cool. Yeah. So, but that's it for me.
I like anything that Trashy from the Leather Shop does. I totally support him. He's been on world tour. He's done a ton of stuff. He has bands, like you were speaking about earlier. He has bands coming to the Leather Shop from all over the world, from South America, from Japan, from you name it, the Czech Republic, and he's had all these acts come in, and a lot of people don't know about it because it's an underground thing. So like that's to me, that's really I really love anything Trash he does. His stuff is Couple Skate. I think all the Dayton kids are really cool. They're really super nice, and I support all those. And it's all like a punk rock metal scene, but I really love that. The stuff down in Columbus, there's Danny Rogers, who's the filmmaker I talked about earlier. His Ass on Intrigue, and there's tons of them. I couldn't speak on all of them without just going down a list of so many people that I've met in Ohio over the years that are like just rad people. And even if you don't necessarily like their music, they're cool and they're willing to work together. I think working together is the most important.
Well, right at the top of the list is Poor Brother Bill, right?
Oh, I love Poor Brother. I grew up with Brian Grant.
So doesn't that one count?
Yeah.
I also wanted to give a shout out to Mississippi Bones. They're
Right.
from
Mississippi
the area.
Bones, yep.
They always put on a great show. They're great people.
Oh boy.
I like this one. Yeah. I don't know if it'll apply to you.
Oh, okay.
Who do you think would win a cage match, Dan or yourself, and how do you think it would play out?
God.
I
the hell?
would build it up. First of all, I would put Dan over. And here's the reason.
The
why.
comedian.
Put him over. What?
Oh, are we
What does
talking?
that
Oh,
mean?
we're talking behind the
UFC
curtain.
style. I don't know.
It's almost
Hey,
2020.
Right, right.
I thought
No, you're
behind
fine.
the
Go ahead.
curtain was dead.
Yeah. You'd be surprised.
What I would do is I would beat the shit out of Dan for the entire match.
Probably. Yeah.
I would get distracted. Somehow, we'd do some kind of gimmick,
Yeah.
and he would crawl out of the cage and beat me.
That's the way I want to win.
And
That's the way I want to go. Yep.
now, I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm good.
you know, you could ask him how he would envision the match.
It's
and I'm-
hard to.
Don't care as long as you win, right?
Well, it's like the Andy Kaufman thing. You know the comic ain't gonna get any shots in. You know,
Right.
like I'm not saying I'm Andy Kaufman, but I'm
Right.
the comedian ain't gonna get any good moves in.
Or the
Okay.
record store owner. That
Or the
gets his
record
ass
store.
beat in.
Yeah, get pop onto a table.
Right.
We know where we're at.
Yeah,
we know.
Right.
Maybe I'd have Groamy come out from under the
Yeah,
ring
Groamy
and
would do a run-in.
handcuff me to the
Yeah.
cage.
Groamy would do a run in.
And
Yeah.
that's how.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys would stumble out of there.
You gotta preserve the shitty prize giveaway.
Yeah.
You can't have that messed with.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But that's how I'd go.
Right.
There'd be no talking before the match. You'd be in one dressing room.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
be in the other.
Old school,
Just
baby.
Come out there and
Go out there and just do it.
Yeah. You hit him with another question there, Dan?
Sure, why
All
not?
right. And then we'll,
Yeah.
we'll do one more.
Oh, here we go. This is a good
Oh,
one.
gonna end it on a good one, huh?
Name one band that you're embarrassed to admit that you enjoy.
Nice.
Now, these don't have to be mortally, but something maybe people wouldn't expect you to like. Let's put it that way.
I got one.
go for it, man. I don't have to think about
band
this.
called Travis, British band.
I've heard of them, yeah.
They're very light poppy.
Yeah.
Why are you embarrassed?
And my group of friends, you say, you're like, oh, I really dig Travis. Sometimes they would just be like, yeah.
Get some new friends.
That's
then.
fucking
Get new
terrible.
friends.
My buddy Josh Palmer, he would probably have busted
Oh.
my balls on that one a couple of times. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those bands I hold back, and it's not really something I tell people I like. But I've been following them for years since '99. So.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them.
Following him.
Yeah, I follow them around. They don't even
You
know.
follow them around. It's called stalking, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
They're cool with it.
We're about wrapping it up here. Got to get Saturn. Sorry, we are still kind of hanging out here at the local record store. Casual conversation. I got to get to work here in a minute, but Saturn
Mine,
Boy needs to give us his embarrassing band. His,
I don't want to say I'm really embarrassed by anything I listen to because there's certain things that I wouldn't play for certain people.
yeah.
Right.
But
Okay, the surprising one. Which one would people go?
It may
really?
surprise some people that I've always really liked AFI.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that
they're
may
good.
be good or bad. I don't know.
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I like what I like, and I
even
guess
the-
people can deal with it.
Even the transition that they've gone through.
Yeah. I even like their new stuff. No, not all of it, because
Right.
some of it's like, whoa, that's different. But yeah, I
They
like
pay the
them.
bills, you know.
Yeah,
Sometimes they,
yeah. I mean, they're making money. I'm not.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not mad at
Yeah,
them.
no, because a lot of times when you find a band like that's been around for so long, and you got your, people liked them from the beginning, and then they change
They
styles a
change.
little bit. It's like, hey, they got rent to pay.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yep.
like there was a band. Oh God, who was it? I think it was the Muffs back in the day. 2 girls, 2 guys, and they sold one of their songs to like Skittles or Fruitopia or something like that, and they got just reamed by the punks. It's like, you're selling out, you're selling out. And Kim Shattuck, she said, no, we're not selling out. They wanted our song, we sold it to them so we could pay the rent and pay to make more music.
Right.
It's like, is that, because I don't find that selling out. In case of AFI changing, I don't find it selling out is when Sting sells a song to, oh God, Jenna, if you're watching this, sorry. If Sting sells a song to Lincoln,
Yeah.
you're selling out because you don't need that freaking money.
Right. Well, and I think it's also like with some bands, it's like I think people conflate the idea of selling out with actually growing.
Yeah.
People grow. People, like, especially if a band's around for the longest time. I mean, are you telling me the people, like them or not, are you telling me that the people in Green Day are the same people they were 20 years ago?
No.
They're not the same people. How do you make that? They're not. They're grown men. Yeah. It's going to be different just from natural growth.
And you got to remember that some bands, their studios or the publishing companies, whoever, own the rights to that song, so it may not even be them.
Yeah.
It may not even have been Sting. It might have been the record company that owns the rights.
You know what I mean?
But sometimes you'll hear a song and you'll be like,
Sting,
like, that's
but,
son of a gun.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
but I mean, that's
what
I think there is that conflation that some people are just because they're band. My favorite, and it's not one I'm embarrassed by. My favorite band of all time is a group out of Australia called Grinspoon, and they have been around since the late '90s. They probably put out, I think, 6 or 7 albums. And if you listen to every album has a different sound, but it's not like they went from rap to pop.
Right.
Every song, but it's different because what they're going through is a different scenario in their lives. After they had one called 6 to Midnight. After the 6 to Midnight, which was frenetic as all hell, the lead singer comes out and says he's addicted to crystal meth. So he goes to rehab. So they put out another album after that called Black Rabbits. It's a different sound. But the guy's sober now. Right. So he's going to have a different thought process.
Right.
So it's different. They're all different. They're all good. But they're good for different reasons. They didn't sell out. They just were different people when they made the albums.
AFI, even their new stuff, though. I'm a little surprised by that. That's cool, though. I mean,
absolutely.
And you know what?
They're
And
good.
it shouldn't matter what the fuck I think. I can tell you over the years I've had people say, "Oh, you made me feel bad because you made fun of the music I like." It shouldn't matter.
Right.
I just own the fucking record store. It's not like we like the same music to begin with.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it shouldn't matter, but it does surprise me a little bit, though. But that's cool, though.
Yeah.
Stick with your guns, stick to your guns, shit, yes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And then that's how we're going to end it.
Yep.
Stick to your guns, people. Right?
Thanks for having me, Groamy.
Oh, dude, it's
I
been fun.
appreciate it.
It's been
I
fun.
appreciate it.
And thanks for coming out. Dan, thanks for joining us. Randy, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you guys. It's always a pleasure.
Welcome anytime. And we out.
We're out.
We're out. You're watching the Groamy Show on ZTOTV, but we're going to throw in another song from Saturn Boy. We're only here to help.